Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday at Althea Center for Spiritual Engagement. I'd say it was a sunny blue day, but it's been a little hazy the past week, right? Yes, sad and unfortunate. So welcome everyone. Do we have any first-timers here today? 3 in the front row, 4, and 5, our speaker today. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming, spending your day with us, or at least a few hours of it. And, there's another one back there. And our speaker today, another one here. Oh, great. Welcome, welcome. So the flower is just to acknowledge your presence, and so that people can say good morning and hello to you. And if you'd like to get on our email list so that you know what's happening in this wonderful center, it's in the back row there, and someone will make sure that you know where it is or whatever. So thank you so much for being here. I have some really good news. The bad news, of course, was that Susan, our wonderful Susan Stites, is leaving. But we just hired some replacements. It took 3 people to do her job. So Rick Stanton, our piano, will be handling the admin side. A familiar, maybe to some of you, face to Althea, Stephanie Whitehouse, will be doing the she's doing the graphics, the newsletter, and media, social media. That was yes, you can tell how adept I am at social media. Can't remember the name of it. So that's exciting. And then Susan trained good old Daryl, our wonderful building manager, to do the recording, as well as Jason Hernandez, our wonderful AV person. So we are pretty covered, and thanks to Susan and her guidance. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Of course, she's not here for all these kudos, but when you see her, congratulate her. So that was really nice to be able to do. If you have a cell phone, if you wouldn't mind, please putting that on vibrate, or stun, or just some setting so it doesn't go off. Stun, yes. And especially this rowdy front row here. They're my cousins. And yes, if it goes off, Sarma. Where's Sarma? Sarma's in the back. She's our sergeant at arms, and she will confiscate it and take it down to a boiler room, and you don't want to go there. All right. We just as a reminder, we will have. We are, of course, made some changes. We are requiring masks when you're inside, unless you're up here speaking or performing. And unfortunately, we're back to no lunch. And I know it's a drag. But we just felt, in the interest of erring on the side of caution, I think that's the phrase, to go with these stricter measurements. And we know that this will change, because that's the nature of life. It will get better. So let's do an opening prayer. So get as comfortable as you can, and just close your eyes. And let's just start off with some deep breaths. The breath of life. Just breathe in that energy and breathe out a different kind of energy. It's all energy. It's all vibration. It's all life. And whatever it took for you to get here this morning, you know, the outside world is just filled with stresses and strains. It's just the way it is. It's the way of this experience we call human life. But we have choices. And so no matter what it took to get here, you made the choice to spend a valuable portion of your day here in this wonderful sanctuary, this building that is so representative of the women who founded it 100 years ago, longer. And it is their consciousness that manifested this incredible building because of their devotion to spirit, to one mind, to the holiness of infinite abundance. And we carry forth that tradition. For each of us knows that when we breathe the infinite, we breathe the holy. For each of us is a divine child of Spirit of God. And if I may be so bold, of Buddha, of Shiva, of Krishna, of Yahweh, of Allah. For God is known by all names and no name. And if we, each of us, wear the face of God, so does the person sitting next to us, the person at the gas station, the person who represents us in Congress, the presidents of other countries, their citizens. No matter that we see them or not, we are all united. And when you recognize the face of God in each and every one you come upon, everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. For we realize the holiness, not only of ourselves, but of them. We are each an expression of that divine love. And each of us in our own way must stand firm in that conviction. Because when we leave this sacred space today, that real world will greet us. But we have choices about how we greet it back. And we just let go of those stresses and strains, and we know that we will receive nourishment today to greet that world with our own face of divine love, knowing that we see the face of divine love in everyone we come into contact with. And no matter what challenges each of us has faced, is facing, will face, we are like the phoenix. We may disintegrate into ash, but we rise because Spirit is forever, and we are manifestations of Spirit, of life, of that beautiful, divine, and holy life energy. We are each of us so sacred, for we are the loved and the beloved. And simply ask yourself, what are you grateful for? Because it is that attitude of gratitude that helps us grow and appreciate this preciousness of our life and of just being here with each other. The simplicity of this congregation, of being in each other's presence. What a lovely, lovely way to spend an hour. And I am so grateful for each and every one of you here, for this sanctuary, for the women who founded it, for our continuing in their tradition, for every member, for being in Denver, Colorado. And I'm a native, so I can say that. And let us just let it all go. And with a deep breath and a deep sigh, a deep exhalation, let us just relax in the knowingness of these truths. And together we say, Amen, and so it is. And now it's time for our musical guest today. Oh, first, sorry, Althea's Statement of Being, which you should have on the back of your handout. This is honoring those women who founded the Divine Science, which is the foundation of this beautiful sanctuary that we find ourselves in. And we'll just say it together here. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Now for our musical guest. Jennifer Price is a cousin of mine, and we recently reunited. On that note, yes, we did. My cousin Carol had a wonderful birthday party a few weeks ago, and so after a hiatus of I don't know how many decades, it's really nice to connect with family locally. And so Jen has been a performer for quite a few years, and after a 10-year hiatus, she is showing up with a folk blues vocal and her acoustic guitar. Her songs are familiar yet unique and full of raw emotion and love. Native of the Mile High City, another one. She is excited to be playing out for people again, and she also, as I said, happens to be a cousin of mine. And I don't have any notes on your partner here. Introduce him, if you would.
This is Scooter Barnes, and he's fabulous. He's been playing for 40-some years, I believe. Didn't you say 40? I thought I said 40. Anyway, speaks for himself. I want to say something silly like, is this thing on? Is it? Does everybody know this is a very special new moon? She could remember in his smile the whole world would stop for a little while, just a little while. Then he told her once again, when he saw her, he knew what forever meant. And forever, please begin. I believe you're an angel in the space I breathe. I can feel you have given me identity. You found another way, another way. Being a stranger in your skin, with the thoughts of who you could have been, who you should have been. Things we take for granted, and the things expecting handed, and we wish our lives away. Yeah. I believe you're an angel in the space I breathe. I can feel you've given me identity. You found another way. You found another way. And it happens all the time. Reaching through the lines, and we live with so much heart. In the end, we still must part. I believe you're an angel in the space I breathe. I can feel you have given me identity. You found another way. You found another way. You could see it in her eyes. This would be a long goodbye. No, my baby, don't you cry. I believe you're an angel in the space I breathe. I can feel you've given me identity. You found another way. Another way. Thank you.
I'm related to her. Did you write that? Did you write that song? Where is the Grammy nominating committee when you need them? That is absolutely stunning. Just stunning. And prepare to be stunned again for our guest speaker. Jeff Scott Ruiz is an Air Force veteran with a former career in graphic design. He is an ongoing council member of the Be Men Foundation, a nonprofit organization which advocates and promotes mental health among men. He's a published author, a certified relationship and life coach, and is also a certified presenter in the 10 Greatest Gifts Project, an organization that supports forward-focused family values. Please welcome Jeff Scott Ruiz.
Good morning, beautiful people. And thank you so much for having me at Althea Center. I'd like to say, first of all, that I have no cousins here today. It's impressive that you have your family with you. It was a Wednesday. A beautiful sunny day in Lyons, Colorado, in late February of 2012. At the time, I was working at home. I was there with my cat, enjoying the canyon life. It was beautiful, great setting, and the wind was howling. Canyons have a way of funneling the wind right up the slopes. You can have a steady wind in the field, but that canyon wind is going to be very strong at times. 50 to 60 mile an hour winds this day. Now that was not something unusual for me. As a matter of fact, I took it in stride, looking at everything blowing around. It was a normal day. Toward the end of my day, around 6:15 p.m., I was waiting for my former wife to get home, and I was relaxing in the kitchen. All of a sudden, I became aware that something just wasn't right. There was something different about the air. Not unlike what we're experiencing today, as a matter of fact. Because I soon realized as I looked out the front window of my living room, there was smoke down the slope. And as I looked harder, I saw that there were little tiny flames in that smoke. At first, I didn't know what to do. I didn't think anything of it. There's a little brush fire going on. But one factor that was going on was that high wind. I don't know how long I stared at that spot. But before long, I realized it was spreading really, really quickly. And it was coming straight at my home. When you experience a threatening situation, your fight, flight, freeze instincts take over. You get an adrenaline dump. Strange things happen to you. You get tunnel vision. You get auditory exclusion. You lose control of your fine motor skills. And time, this is the strange part, time seems to flow much differently. I didn't know what to do first. What's my first action? What do I do? It's far away. I can wait. Wait a minute. 911. That's what I should do first. There are other people in this canyon. They need to know what's going on. I made the call. Then I thought, what am I going to do next? I looked back out the window again. I don't know how long I was on that phone call. Time dilation took over again. The flames seemed to be twice as big now, and they were still roaring up the hill. My next thought was, I need to get out of here. But I can't just leave. I have a cat, my beloved pet. I have things that I cherish in the home. What do I grab first? What do I do? And all that thinking just kept slowing me down more and more. And before I knew it, I knew I had to do something. My vehicle was parked about 30, 40 feet away, out beyond the front of the house. So I backed it up to the front door, and I began to think about what I could load in there. I started loading whatever I could find. What's precious to me? What do I need? What can I not do without? I grabbed my computer, some precious objects, some photos. And the next thing I knew was my cat. I had to get my cat out of there. At this time, I was in such an energized state. I was really freaking out, for lack of a better term. Now, the cat sensed that energy. Now, it's hard enough to try to get a cat to come to you in the first place, but imagine trying to coax a cat out from under the bed when you're in an adrenalized state. She saw my energy. She wouldn't move. She wouldn't move, and that scared me because I thought, if this house gets consumed by those flames, she's going with it. I was terrified. I couldn't wait any longer. When I got to the point where I could not wait any longer, I knew I had to abandon her. The flames were already up closer to the property. If you can picture a dam, the curvature of a dam, that is what that wall of flame was growing into, that kind of a shape. And I was petrified. After I threw everything in there that I wanted, that I could take, I stepped out the front door. By this time, the flame was so intense, I could feel it on my skin. Embers were flying through the air. The smoke was thick. It was palpable. I felt like I was almost immersed in it. Worse yet, my only avenue of escape, my long driveway, the flames were beginning to flank it. And my only exit was now blocked. As I walked out of my house for what I thought was the last time, I held that doorknob, and time dilation kicked in again. It seemed like forever that I sat there and I thought, I'm about to lose everything I have. I'm about to lose my precious pet, and there's nothing I can do about it. I stood there for a long time remembering when I moved into the home. All of the memories came flashing back to me. What do I have? And also in that moment, my mind thought, these are just possessions. I may lose them, but I need to get out of here. I let go of the door, and as I turned around again, the flames were still closer. The ground was fire. The air was fire. The sky was fire. I could no longer see the sky. Flames 20, 30 feet high blocked my view. It felt like a furnace, or the oven when you first open it after cooking, right in my face. And tears began to come down my face because of that cat. I knew she was behind me, and there was no way she was going to get out. I didn't want to leave the front door open for fear that if she did come out, she would run straight into the flames. What do I do next? I have to get out of there, but by this time my driveway is completely blocked. It is blocked. There's no retreat behind the home. It's an upslope. No roads. There's no retreat to the left. There's no retreat to the right. There is only one way down off that slope, and that is through that driveway. I jumped into my car. I thought, this is it. I may die today. Fortunately, the strip of that driveway was in a straight line. And I sat there in my car, staring down that driveway. And in an instant, I had a flash. Hey, this works in the movies all the time. I've seen it happen. If I drive really, really fast, I will get through the fire. Now, there's some truth in that. The faster you go. So I finally did it. I finally punched it. And I started driving down that driveway. And I entered the wall of fire, and time dilation hit me again. In the same moment that I felt terror being inside the fire, I also experienced beauty. Because there was something beautiful about the glow around all of my windows. Now, time had stopped for me again. It's like I had forever to think about this. In that one instant, my car is engulfed. However, it's beautiful. How do I reconcile that? How does anybody reconcile that? Before I knew it, I had no idea how deep that wall of fire was. I was out. I finally exited. My car didn't catch fire, just like the movies, and it worked. But as soon as I exited that wall, my heart was heavy again for the cat that I left behind. I could not reconcile that. When I got back up to the canyon road, I looked back at the property, and I could see the wall of flames had completely surrounded the property by this time. It was like a castle moat, a castle wall made of fire. And again, I thought, I'm losing everything. I am witnessing the destruction of everything I own. And again, I thought, you know, that looks kind of beautiful in an eerie way. The first responders had everybody leave the canyon road. We went down into town, and I see in my rearview mirror the flame is still roaring. It's still roaring. As I got further and further away, I began to despair more. Some good people put us up for the night in town. And the next day, we got up in the morning. It was time to go back up and assess the damage. It had snowed overnight, which may have been a contributor to the intensity of the burn. As I drove up close to the property, I witnessed another beautiful sight. Scorched black earth leading up to the property, and pure white snow contrasting perfectly with that black, and then the beautiful green, the evergreen. Once again, I beheld beauty where there was destruction. And to my amazement, the house was still standing. I had no idea how that could have happened. The closer I got up to the property, I realized what could only have been a fire line set by the fire department. There was a perfect curve around the property, around the building, that must have stopped that fire from hitting the building. The building was completely fine. Now, I did not see one single fire truck. I didn't see one fire vehicle. I didn't hear any sirens. As far as I knew, I was alone on that slope. I don't know what must have happened. I had no idea what must have happened. But in that moment, I thought, God just sent me a message. I was supposed to die that day. I could have died that day. What does this mean? What kind of message does this mean? A significant life-changing event like that can have such an impact on someone's life. For me, it caused me to reevaluate my life, reevaluate the things about me. What have I been doing all this time? Have I been wasting my time? Have I been paying enough attention to people? Have I been paying enough attention to the world? And I came to the conclusion that I had not been. But this literally rewired my brain, and I instantly began to think in a different way. Anybody familiar with that NLP, neuro-linguistic programming? It's the science that a situation or a thought system, belief, changing your habits can actually change the way you look at the world. How was I looking at the world before? I didn't like it. Wayne Dyer, bless his soul, was famous for saying, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change. I completely believe in that now. I started changing my circle of friends. I started changing where I chose to be, people I chose to hang around. I started reevaluating, and it opened up doors for me. It opened up doors for me that I never thought was possible before. And you know, life started to get better for me. And I'm eternally grateful for that fire. That may be a statement that you can't quite wrap your arms around, but I am grateful for that day because that changed my life. Have you heard of survivor's guilt? You go through a life-threatening situation, you live, and you try to figure out what just happened to me. I feel guilty, I made it, I should have died. I wasn't going to feel that way. Now, what about those in our lives who are going through their own wildfires? They may not necessarily have been through something as threatening as that, a physical threat, but what about them? Maybe you know someone who has been suffering with their own wildfire, and they don't know what to do, and they don't know where to turn, and they have nobody. We humans are a tribal species. Going through life alone is not what we're meant for. I'm an introvert. Introverts unite, maybe not. We need other people. For so long, I thought, I don't need anybody. I could do this myself. And you know what? When that happens, you become reclusive. And where's the doors of opportunity? There are no doors of opportunity, right? We're stagnant. We're stuck. We spend a lot of time alone in our thoughts, which could be dangerous. We often turn to things to help support us. Addictions, alcohol, nicotine, drugs, you name it. Where's that going? Where's that getting us? When somebody gets to that point where they're down and out, they're down and rock bottom, look around this town in some places. Look at what's happening in towns across the country. I've often turned and looked the other way. But you know what? In almost every one of those cases, those people most likely don't have anybody to turn to. The power of words can go a long way. And if you believe that everything is energy, and it is, just a simple compliment can make a big difference in somebody's life. It's a beautiful blouse you're wearing. See what I mean? If we hear too long what's wrong with us, what we didn't do right, that sticks with us forever. Our body retains that forever. Our mind retains that forever. And if left untreated, unresolved, it's a slippery slope. It can be a slippery slope. So what I'd like to propose to all of you today is that when you see someone, or maybe you are going through something where you feel there's nowhere else to turn, there's nothing left for you to do, I would like you to first turn inward to yourself, because you have to put the oxygen mask on first if you're going to interact with someone else, right? The power of words. It's okay to recognize where you are right now. It's okay to recognize where someone might be in the station of their life. I drink too much. I smoke too much. I do too much drugs. Life is worthless. What's happening there? That is a reinforcement of negative thoughts that's keeping people down. It's not just acknowledging it. You are actually empowering yourself to believe those statements. And it's toxic. There is a Hawaiian prayer, if you will, called Ho'oponopono. And there are 4 precepts to it. And they have to do with repentance, forgiveness, acknowledgement, and love. Now, as I said before, words are powerful. Words have energy. Words have meaning. We need to continuously reinforce the positivity, even if it's hard. Is this going to change your life tomorrow? No. Is it going to change your life next month? I don't know. Maybe not. But what I do know is that if you want to change a habit, it requires a series of seemingly insignificant actions repeated time and time and time again until it becomes a habit and until you change that wiring in your brain. That can happen, but it must start with the desire. You have to have the desire to change. Without that, there can be no first step. Ho'oponopono. The first step of the repentance is to say and acknowledge, I'm sorry. Now, what does that mean? I'm sorry for what? I'm sorry you broke your leg. You can sympathize with someone. It doesn't mean that you're at fault with something, but I'm sorry has power because it means you are connecting with another soul. You're connecting with another individual. That's repentance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me is the next step. Please forgive me. That is an acknowledgement, and that is powerful too. If I have done anything untoward against you, I want you to know that I'm sorry and I ask for your forgiveness. The third step is thank you. Thank you has so much power. It's a further acknowledgement that you have reached out, asked for forgiveness, and thanked the individual for forgiveness. And lastly, I love you. Probably the three most powerful words on the planet is I love you. Can you say I love you to a stranger? Imagine what that would feel like, what that would mean. Have you ever thought of someone from way in your past? You haven't spoken to this person in 20 years. You haven't seen them, you haven't heard from them, and what happens invariably? The next day, the next week, you get a phone call from them. Anybody ever experienced that before? Why do you think that is? We have put that energy out into the universe. It's there. It's not coincidence that they happened to contact you because you were thinking about them. You sent a signal. They received that signal, and they decided to reach out back to you. It's the same way with energy. You can pray for someone across town. You can pray for someone around the world, and it will have power. Before I close, I would like to invite you, if you're willing, to place both hands over your hearts, if that moves you to do so. And I'd like to go through this Ho'oponopono with you. I'd like you to bring into your awareness right now all the people on the planet, people you don't know, people you've never met, people you may not ever meet before. And I'd like you to please repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And now I'd like to bring into your awareness your present family, your partner, your ex-partner, your friends. Draw them in closely and repeat again. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And now, I'd like you to bring your awareness to yourself, to that person in the mirror that you see every single day. You're standing before yourself, and I'd like you to repeat, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. If we do that once a day, ladies and gentlemen, it will have a ripple effect. And then the ripples will turn into waves. Imagine the power that we all have, the collective power to send this kind of energy and positive goodwill to this planet. This can have such a magnifying event for this planet if we just take it one person at a time. You could do this in your car, you could do it at home. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me here again. It's been wonderful. Please go out there and be awesome. I was waiting for that. The cat was just fine.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful. Jeff Scott. Well, it's time for our reading. So, Dick, if you would like to come up. Dick Peterson, longstanding member. And whichever way, do you need some help up? Oh, careful, careful, careful. Watch out for that carpet. I wanted to mention, as we give Dick plenty of time to get up here, there is an article in Outfront magazine, and unfortunately, it was so popular, there aren't any more. There is an article, which yours truly wrote, about the Althea Center. And it's called, I called it Capitol Hill's Unchurch, because, you know, we are not a church. So I'm going to call the office tomorrow and get some more issues brought in, and we'll try to make sure that I mention this again next week. But if you want to know about Althea and how wonderful it is, check it out. Yes, you can go online. If you just Google Outfront magazine, that'll get you to their digital edition. Yeah, you can do it that way too. And Dick Peterson.
I decided for the reading today, since all of you hear most every week about prayer treatments and all of that, I thought I would read about the 5 or 6 steps of the prayer treatment. And this comes from this congregation, not from Mile High, which is another one that does it. But it's a very powerful thing that many of us believe. And as you listen to these 6 steps here, notice none of them are asking God to do anything. Part of my problem over the years, and that is many prayers are asking God to do something as God doesn't know what he's doing or she's doing. And this does not do that, and that's where it really attracted to me. And actually, after the service, Lee and I will be doing prayer treatments if any of you feel the need to do something. And it's interesting enough on this, you don't have to ask for anything greatly dramatic. Maybe you want a job, maybe you want a minor health problem to get better. And so it's interesting, you may need a house, find an apartment that you can afford, which is maybe more beyond our means right now. But anyway, let me read these to you. The first step is remembering God. That is the omnipresent spirit, the universal mind, the intelligence, the life, the energy. Contemplate its attributes. And it's interesting, this is like the statement we all read a few minutes ago, the statement of being of Althea. It's really identical to that, in a little different words, but that very first step, and maybe the whole thing is, Spirit reaches everywhere, everything, everyone. Spirit knows all things. Spirit can do all things and everything. Number 2, consciously unite with the Spirit, much like the speaker said today. I am one with the Spirit. I am open to the Spirit. I'm connecting with the Spirit. As of this moment, now I can communicate with Spirit, and doing so, Spirit communicates with me and doing so. If we're doing a treatment for somebody, we add the person in there too at the same time. The third step, which is a different step from Mile High Church, and somebody who connected with this is a different step, but I like it. take back any power you are aware of having given away to another person, given away to negative. That is, to ideas that you do not want to see manifest in yourself and others. You know, we all have had people talk to us and talk down to us, oh, you can't do that, you're less than. That's what you are asked to give up, that part that you got from your, usually from the childhood. And then step 4, which is really the key step in doing a treatment, it's the hardest one, name and affirm that feeling, that good you want to see manifest. And then the difficult step on that one for a practitioner is you're affirming that that step is present now. In other words, if you want to feel better, you affirm that the present is done right now, already. And it's a very tricky step to take the future, bring it to the present, and then that present is what you're speaking about. For it is present now in spirit. As you do this, feel all the pleasure, enthusiasm that goes with this enjoyment of the good. It's a little bit like a cat living. Then give thanks. And the give thanks is so crucial. I'm more and more convinced that life is really giving thanks. If we can't give thanks for what we have, we really have trouble receiving more. So give thanks to Spirit for all that is, and it is done, and for every it can do. Express gratitude and appreciation for everything related to Spirit that you can think of. For example, give thanks that Spirit exists, that it is available to you and to me, that we are open to it, that it is the omnipresence, the omniscience, the omnipotent, that it is more resourceful in all kinds and all ways. Give thanks for every good, any and every good already manifested in your life, and consciously recognize that it is a gift from Spirit. Then the final step, and this is really important for practitioners, is you turn it over to the law. You turn it over to God. Entrust your prayer and the whole prayer process to Spirit. In other words, it was not me, but it is really the law or God or omnipresent. So you have to turn it over. And that's a hard step for some of us to say, but it really wasn't me. It was really the God, the presence, the power. And so I now turn this prayer over to Spirit or to law, sometimes knowing that the thoughts in my word are manifest by law. So I just thought that would be interesting as we go through this. Thank you.
Thank you, Dick. Well, it is time for the most joyful part of today, and that's opening your hearts and your pocketbook. So, ushers, if you could please get the trays, and we'll start passing them around. And yes, this is that time where guilt and judgment, oh my gosh, let it go. Just think of what value this place gives to you, and act accordingly from the heart and with love. And we will have a prayer of thanksgiving from our own Catherine McKay.
Good morning. So I was laughing this morning because I was reading my little blessing stuff that I wrote, and I thought, maybe it should be Althea Center for Reinforcement. And that's because when we come here, we have the reinforcement of the fact that we are each unique expressions of the divine. And I was thinking, when you realize that with your heart mind, not just your, mind, it's huge. So, I don't know, that's like one of the reasons I come here. Every week I'm overwhelmed with that, and I'm overwhelmed with the responsibility of that. And I think about it all week long. So, I don't know, you guys probably do too. Anyway, I'm so grateful to all of you so that all of us get to have Althea because of all you do, all your contributions, all your volunteering, all your good thoughts you put out there about Althea. Anyway, God is all. Amen.
My kind of prayer. All right. There are other ways that you can give as well. Well, she's coming up after. Where was I? Oh, yeah, thank you. There are different ways to donate. Squirrel! There are different ways to donate. We have Dip Jar, which is a wonderful device in the back where you just simply take out your credit card and dip it, dip it, dip it, dip it, dip it. And that would be about $50 right there. Or you could do more. We also have the availability with King Soopers, has a community outreach where a certain portion of your charges go to, using your card, go to Althea. You must designate that community. And then smile.amazon. And I stress, it's not just amazon.com, but when you sign up and designate Althea as your donor or recipient, it is smile.com. And yeah, so there are many ways to donate. Did you want to go through? Or we'll do music. Once again, Jen Price.
I would like to talk about some gratitude about this amazing place, and the sound, and all you beautiful people, because it is not easy wearing a mask and having our hearts open. So this song that I wrote not too long ago, a little different. Thank you. I'm going to give it some space. A little more relaxed because this is pretty, a little overwhelming, kind of big for me. So anyway, thank you. Thank you guys for having us. And trying not to get a little verklempt here. I think my battery went dead. Anyway, I'll do my best. The broken chord, oh, but it's alright. Yes, it's alright. You might just get to grow. I can feel it in my soul. You stole the show, but it's over. Show's over. You got to get yourself home. Yeah. You can feel it in the sun. You can hear it in the wind. You can feel it in the trees. And you can taste it on your skin. It is love. Oh, you gotta get you some love. You gotta get you some love. Yeah, yeah. You gotta get some. You've been crying, oh, but it's alright. Yes, it's alright. Go on and wipe those eyes. And I can see it in your face. You don't approve. No, no, but it's over. Oh, it's over. I thank God it's not up to you. No, no. You can see it in the sun. Yeah, yeah. You can hear it in the wind. And hear it in the trees. And you can taste it on your skin. It is love. You gotta get some love. Yeah. Oh, you can feel it in the sun. You can hear it in the wind. You know it's in the trees and it's on your skin. Yeah. Look up in the sky. It'll fall from your eyes. You know it's everywhere. Just pluck it from the air. Yeah. Do 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 do. Gotta do it again. Oh, you can feel it in the sun. You can hear it in the wind. You know it's in the trees. It's on your skin. Yeah. You look up in the sky. It'll fall from your eye. You know it's everywhere. Just pluck it from the air. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, oh. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Althea. You guys.
She gets it from me. What can I say? I heard that. All right, time for a few announcements, and then we will have Jenny go through the upcoming services, and then we'll have a closing prayer. Kendara is doing it today, I believe. Yes, okay. And don't forget, as Dick mentioned, there will be affirmative prayers out this door, and I strongly encourage you to take advantage of it. It's wonderful. So just a few other announcements. Don't forget, we have the annual general meeting. It's scheduled to begin at 12:30. We're getting out of here a little earlier today, so we may shoot for 12:15, 12:20-ish. We only have 5 hours to go through all the information. Oh, did I say 5? I meant 1. Doesn't that make you feel much better now? So please do come and attend. It's going to be filled with wonderful information. Some upcoming classes, Accountability Circle. That's going to start tomorrow evening. That will be a Zoom class. We have a healing meditation on relationships. That's going to be Saturday mornings for 7 weeks. That's also a Zoom class. I think they're all Zoom these days. And then Community Connections is our wonderful weekly sort of outreach and way to connect within the Althea community, led by our wonderful Kathy Humphreys. So always something going on at Althea. Jenny. Yeah.
Good morning. These shoes are cute, but they're vicious. If I tried to come up that stair, it'd be I'd probably knock Rick out. I'm Jenny Castleberry, and I am on the team that is bringing you exciting, inspiring, innovative, impactful Sundays. Woo! Whether it's an amazing speaker and fellow Toastmaster with me, woo, Jeff Scott, he's award-winning, y'all, I've seen him. Whether it's someone like Jeff or our amazing musicians, which, Scooter and Jen, you all reminded me, who was here for the bluegrass band, the Front Porch Singers? They were awesome. After they played that Sunday, we decided that Althea needs a music festival night. So we planned, you guys are now invited, if you will, do that pleasure for us and be there. Still in the formative stages, but we're talking about a Friday or a Saturday night, maybe in October. We'll charge a little cover charge at the door, and we are going to have a showcase of some of our best musicians. So get ready for that. You guys just reminded me that we're putting that together. So we're all about music. We're about inspirational readings, messages. Here's what's coming up. Next Sunday will be one of our Divine Science friends from Pueblo, Sean Furlong, who is going to talk about letting your soul soar. The next Sunday is our very own Alice Brink, who is going to talk about the saving power of substance. And then somewhere in the mix, we're going to have a prayer panel or prayer partners panel, where we're going to have a panel of our prayer partners going further into depth, kind of like Dick did today, and telling you some amazing stories of some transformative affirmative prayer. So that will be a fun one. And we're also going to have a special service on visioning, the concept of visioning, and much more to come, much more to come. So keep coming, invite your friends and neighbors. Thanks.
All right, Kendara will do our closing prayer, and then we'll have a community song and start the rest of our day.
Hi, everybody. That was so good, and I'm glad your cat was okay. Okay, here we are. Would you just close your eyes and get quiet and go within? And feel yourself connected with spirit, which is in every single fiber of everything that's here and everything that's around you. And we give thanks. And we give thanks that we are here, that we have life, that our needs are provided for. We even give thanks for the lessons that we're receiving, because indeed they make us stronger and they help us grow. And we remove and relinquish and refuse to accept anything at all that would interfere with this vision, which is of God, love, light, and healing. And we just are filled with gratitude, inner peace, and our connection with Spirit and all that is. We say thank you, thank you, thank you. And we release it on the wings of the dove with love, light, and healing. And so it is. Amen.
Am I on? Yeah, now I'm on. I'd like to make just a really brief announcement. I'm sorry about all these announcements, but this is actually a fundraising plea. It's kind of a personal thing. I manage an apartment building called Chesney Kleinjohn Apartments, which was specifically built to house people living with HIV and AIDS. And that's what I've been doing for the last 25 years. So there's an event that happens every year. It's called Festival for Life, and it's put on by Colorado Health Network, an AIDS service organization. It used to be called AIDS Walk Colorado, but now it's called Festival for Life. And Tim Wilson, through the Mariposa program, is raising funds. He's one of my team members, but I'm also I'm the captain of the team for Chesney Kleinjohn. And if you'd like to donate to our cause, Chesney Kleinjohn gets to keep a large percentage of the funds raised on our behalf. So it's not just a fundraiser for Colorado Health Network, it's a personal fundraiser for Chesney Kleinjohn. And there's a little sign-up sheet on the back, the red table on the back. The easiest way for me to contact you is if you give me your email address, and then I'll send you a personal donation link that you can respond to that way. So it's at a table in the back with a little clipboard there, so if you could give me your email address, that would be terrific. And our community song today, I thought it was good for rising from the ashes like a phoenix. So I'd like you to stand as you're able and join me in I Can See Clearly Now. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the pain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you.